Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Unknown Coatings channel. And this is a video that almost had me change careers. So, gonna be working with some outgas friendly primer. This is basically supposed to stop outgassing from happening on parts. Most of the time it's on aluminum parts, cast iron parts occasionally. The parts that I'm doing are actually jet boat parts that are constantly in salt water. So we've dealt with this stuff in the past, especially living here in the Northwest. There is a ton of pitting and things in these parts. And even if there's not pitting on these parts that sit in salt water, a lot of the time, they constantly outgas. Now, these parts were all sandblasted. They were all powder coated white originally when we got them. And then they were all outgassed for ever. We put them in the oven at like 430 degrees, and they were in there for hours and hours and hours because we knew this was going to be a problem. And to be fair, I talked to the customer about it ahead of time. He also knew it was going to be a problem, but he just wanted them chrome, so that's what we're going to try to do here. Spraying with the Optiflex Pro as per usual, and I'm using Cardinal's Outgas Primer here. I'm just showing this kind of a fast process. You guys already kind of saw some of the pitting. What I'm going to be doing is kind of caking this primer on in hopes that it's going to fill in a lot of that pitting. It's not going to do a particularly great job because the pitting on these parts is actually really bad. But we're trying to get it as smooth as humanly possible, mostly obviously because we're going to be putting chrome on it and we want it to stay looking nice. I guess now is the best time to tell you while I'm sitting here spraying these parts. If you like powder coating or powder coating content, be sure to give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications. Definitely helps us grow this channel. We're creeping up on 20,000 subscribers, and that is a goal of mine by the end of June. So if you want to help out with that, I'd really appreciate it. You can also leave a comment. If you guys have some video ideas and stuff you want to see, be sure to leave a comment, and I'll try to make a video kind of catering to what some of you guys want. And by the way, just so it's clear here, we ended up doing 2 coats of primer on all these parts. Once again, this is just to try to fill in the pitting and then also kind of help with this whole outgassing situation that we know ahead of time that we're going to be dealing with. So 2 coats of the exact same OGF primer from Cardinal. I don't remember what number it is. It's in the beginning on the box. And by the way, if you don't know, I'm doing a video a day every day for the month of April. I don't have any idea what video this is or even what date this is necessarily going up, but hopefully we're on track. This is after 2 coats of primer. This is how much pitting is still in these. And I mean, they don't look terrible. They look significantly better than they did originally, but they're not great. This panel was actually one of the best, but it was also the flattest, plainest, boring, most boring panel. So I guess I kind of expected it to look the best. I think it's also one of the only parts that wasn't cast. So we're going to go through now. We're putting Super Chrome Plus on all these parts. I'm really, I guess, just kind of speeding through the video of this, mostly because this part isn't really going to matter. Spraying the first coat of Super Chrome on them, and then I'm actually going to do a second coat as well, which you will see here in just a second. I mentioned in one of my last videos that on gloss black I almost always do 2 coats. Super Chrome is another one of those I almost always do 2 coats. Seems to give it a lot more of that like kind of mirror finish. You can get it in 1 coat. What I've noticed is if you try to like kind of cake it on, you get obviously those little bits of sag that you see with the dark edges, where it's kind of rolling over. And I hate that. So if you do it in 2 light coats, you put on a light coat, flow it out till just where it starts to gel out, just like right at the edge of that, pull it out, let it cool down a bit, and throw your second coat on. They bond together really well. You don't get any of that weird like sag or anything in it, so you don't get those weird dark lines in it. So I'm going to throw these in the oven. Once again, just to give them that kind of little flash cure. This is them coming right back out. As you can see, they're already starting to look chrome. They don't look great. They actually kind of look like like maybe some of the polished aluminum powder from Prismatic or something along those lines, or some of the other, other powder suppliers' chrome that kind of looks like this. And you can see that a lot more in these zoomed up versions. And once again, showing this pitting, obviously showing that it's still a problem. Now, one more coat of chrome is going to help this a bit, but what you can already see here is the outgassing is already starting to happen. There's not many spots, but you got to keep in mind we also haven't fully cured any of this stuff yet, so it hasn't even got up to the temperature it's going to, where you're going to have these outgassing problems. All these thinner pieces obviously, got a lot more chrome looking. Threw some more chrome powder on them, and they're going back in the oven. This will be for the 4th time. We have 2 coats of primer and 2 coats of chrome. And this is afterwards, me showing all the outgassing from fully curing this chrome. Once again, if you don't know this, when you do Super Chrome Plus and you're going to be putting a clear over top of it, you actually do have to do a full cure cycle on the Super Chrome Plus. Not all powders are like that, obviously. Some of them you do just like a gel out or flow out and then put clear over top, illusions, and most other powders actually are like that. Here's some more of the outgassing. Now, once again, I had already discussed all of this. The customer knew that this was going to be a problem. To be fair, we didn't think it'd be this big of a problem, but there's Super Chrome Plus looking spectacular, by the way. I look terrible, but Super Chrome Plus looks great. Even on these kind of beat up parts, it still looks really, really good. So we're going to go ahead now. We're letting these, cool down. That's when I'm taking all this video footage right now, and we'll be throwing on Tiger's Bangle Clear on all of these parts. And in case I haven't mentioned it on this video, I know I've mentioned in others, Tiger's Bangle Clear is my go-to gloss clear. It lays flat every time. It lays really well. Back ionization problems are almost non-existent. It doesn't yellow. It doesn't dull chrome as much as some of the other clears, and it definitely doesn't negatively affect color the way that some other clears do. I know like Clear Vision from Prismatic is always pretty orange peely, and it does tend to yellow. It's very finicky about the cure schedule. And that's not to say you could just do whatever you want on the cure schedule with Bangle Clear. It's just not nearly as finicky as Clear Vision or as some of the other clears that I've dealt with. I do have a clear coat video coming up that kind of shows different clears and how glossy they are in relation to one another across, I think I have 5 different brands that I'm going to be spraying, just to kind of give you guys some examples and see which clear you like better without having to order a bunch of powder yourself and figure it out. So these are these parts after clear. The outgassing was just absolutely insane on almost every single one of these parts had problems. I'm showing it up real close, obviously. Now, to be fair, you're not going to see any of these parts for the most part. That this guy decides to show off his jet pump setup. I guess some people will see it. He just wanted it chrome. Like I said, it was white prior to this. He was replacing one single part that when it showed up, it was raw aluminum, and he decided that he just wanted to go for a whole new look. After the clear, it still looks very good. It's still very reflective. That's kind of another shout out to Tiger's Bangle Clear, which I mentioned just a minute ago. It's still very mirror-like. I guess that's the big thing with this Super Chrome Plus and Tiger's Bangle Clear. Ultimately, the customer was stoked on how these turned out. I wasn't in love with it. I was bummed out about how it turned out overall. But the customer was happy, and I guess ultimately that's all I care about. If you guys want some more, check out some more powder coating content. Check out the UKC Army Facebook group. And we'll see you next time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.